Hello, 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 hello. My name is Svava Brooks. I am a trauma coach. And if you're here watching the replay, thank you so much for stopping by. Hey, Tina. Hey, friend. And I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I love to hang out here with my fellow survivor thrivers as we work our way through my book, one day, one page at a time. And if you're here live, then please say hello. Please let us know you're here. Let us know where you're from, because we would love to welcome you. And if you're interested in learning more about my work, like I mentioned, as a trauma coach, you can find me on my website. I'm going to hold my business card up here for you, svavabrooks.com. I do both one-on-one life coaching, empower survivors with the tools that they need to heal and restore, because we can. We already come fully equipped with everything that we need. Right, friends? Right, Wanda? But sometimes we just need that extra support. And if you're looking for a group to support you on the journey, then I hope you join us here or in our closed Facebook group or in our mindfulness community or our self-care community. We are up to all kinds of things, aren't we? So how are you guys doing today? How are you? What's new and good? Let's start there. Hey, Tina. And just so you guys know, I'm watching Periscope live here, and I got YouTube live over here, and I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on your the chats. But if you want to join us on YouTube, you can head on over, do a search for the name of the book, and you will find the chat right there. Yes. Hey, Wanda. How is my foot? Yes, I'm sporting a very nice boot for my broken toe. Actually took it to the gym today. So you love that sassy boot. The sassy boot. Yep. I'm on a mission, going places with my fancy boot, sneaker on one foot, and I don't know what to call those on my other foot. I didn't think I would like it, but actually it helps. I have to admit, it supports the toe so I don't roll the foot like that. It keeps it really flat and steady. So it is helping. It is helping. Hey, friends, welcome. But how are you guys doing? How are you guys? Tina, how are you doing? We haven't seen you in a little while. What's new and good? What's new and good? Sure, it hot for your foot being there. Yes. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth. Glad you're here with us. Yes, Tina, you can type. I decided I'm going to open up for the chat. The bots haven't been showing up as aggressively, and it hasn't been bad. But I shut it down for a little while because it was getting a little overwhelming. So yeah, chat away, Tina. Tina's here, guys. And let's see here. Sue says, I needed a boat here today. Lots of heavy rain all day and floods everywhere. Really, never really got light all day. Oof. All right. Well, you're in the UK. Yes, everyone. That's right, Tina. Tina says, hi, everyone. Sue says, hi. I'm carrying messages back and forth from YouTube to Periscope, Periscope to YouTube. So, yes, Elizabeth, we are happy to be here. Happy to be here. Wanda says, I'm holding on at the knot, but I'm holding on to it. Okay. I'm not quite following you, Wanda. What knot are you holding on to? Is it a comment in the Facebook group that I'm missing here? Tina, you need to come over to Facebook and no, onto YouTube and pick up your messages. There's a slew of messages for you now. I'm just joking, but Wanda says hi. So, okay, now I get it. Sue says, I know the feeling. So are you guys like holding tight, holding on to the knot, like keeping it together? Is that what we're all doing this week? It's been an interesting roller coaster ride, a knot of life, doing a lot of inner child work. I hear you, friend. I hear you. I hear you. Yes. Yeah, I've been watching the news, right? Venice. Is it Venice? Right? The flooding in Italy. Fires in Australia, right? Flooding in Europe. So yeah, you gotta pull out your rain boots. And it's snowing in Iceland already. So those who don't know, I'm originally from Iceland, but no snow in Portland, Oregon yet. But I'm in Arizona right now, Phoenix, Arizona, and it is unseasonably warm. So we are seeing all kinds of changes in the weather, aren't we? So, but today we are going to dive in. The topic of the day, I am going to take a peek here at our closed Facebook group, and also just want to put it out there. If you have a question about trauma or healing, please post it. I'll do my best to answer. And also, if I don't know the answer, I may turn it over to our community, because there's lots and lots of wisdom. Lots of wisdom in our community. So, hey, Tina. Hey, guys. She made it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wanda says, my therapist said she is preparing my 16-year-old for you. All right. All right. That's good. I'm happy to hear it, Wanda. We are going to be ready. We're going to be so ready. Yes, Tina, we missed you too. We missed you too, my friend. I hear you. I hear you, Wanda. Oh, I wish I could tell you how, as hard as this is, right, to reparent ourselves, to reconnect with our wounded selves, to become that parent and the protector that we needed, especially for those teenagers. Anybody here raised a teenager? Yeah, it's a little bit like that, right? They're 16 going on 20 something, or 14 going on 30 something. They are sassy. They know it all. They think they know best, and they're not gonna show us. Yep, a couple of them, Sue. Yes, I got a 16-year-old in the house right now, and well, I managed to raise those girls through the teenage years, but there was a little butting head. But as Elisa has shared with you guys, it wasn't too bad. I was gonna say I wasn't too bad, because right, sometimes it's the parents, but sometimes it's the kids, and sometimes it's because we don't know how to communicate. But I'd say we're all here in this together, learning to communicating better with ourselves, listening to ourselves. And I can say for sure, for me, once I became a better parent for my own inner child, I definitely think that it was easier to parent than my own children. So your 14-year-old teen is still easygoing. That's awesome, Tina. That's awesome. I love the teen years. I think it's so sweet. Elizabeth said, I just came to terms that all this info is pretty new to me, so I'll make mistakes as I learn. Well, Elizabeth, welcome to the human race, my friend. Hey, friends. Welcome to the human race, right? That is how we all learn. Yes, Sue, right? Right? Because when we have kids, when we have our oldest, I had no idea, right? I had no idea. She was my first. How do I parent? And then unfortunately, if we didn't have particularly good role models for parenting, we may have struggled a little bit. Didn't know what to do exactly, how to show up, or how to do a lot of the things that I think, are all better equipped today. But I think the biggest part was, I think, to show a little humility. I was willing to apologize. I was willing to, like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. All right, Tina. And right, and there were good days and there were bad days. And after those bad days, I would go back and talk about it, and I would apologize. And I felt at the same time I was teaching my kids is that I'm not perfect, but I care enough about you. I care enough about this relationship. I'm invested in, restoring this relationship, that I want to know if I hurt you. I want to know how it impacted you. And I made it okay for my kids to tell me. It wasn't always easy. The same way, right? My inner teenager, my inner child, I had to make it safe for them, for her to tell me that I, wasn't the most attentive parent, right, to my own inner child in the beginning, because I was disconnected from my body. I was lived up here. So my inner child and my inner teenager felt a little abandoned for a while. And so that push and pull, again, committing to that relationship, to showing up regularly. And as you guys know, part of that is why I'm such a big advocate for taking care of our bodies, self-care, because guess what? Even if we struggle with connecting with our inner child, when we start taking care of our bodies, they notice. She noticed, right? Because for me, especially, because when I was really scared or really disconnected from my body, I wouldn't eat. I, like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, getting lightheaded, and I haven't eaten. And so my inner child was like, I can't trust you. You don't pay attention to me. I am hungry. I don't know if I'm gonna live because I'm starving. You don't care. You're not paying attention. So as I started, okay, you're absolutely right. We need food. We need rest. Once I started doing that, that's the loving kindness, the action of loving my inner child, because she lives inside of this body. So thank you, Elizabeth. She says, listening to you is healing. Well, I know for us coming together, the hearts in this community, in this place, this is a co-creation, and we hold space for each other, and that's how we heal. That's how we heal. You belong, we see you, we hear you. You're not alone. You're not alone. So today we are talking about our stories. A little bit about our stories. So let me set up our topic here, and bear with me. I have to go back and forth because I only have one screen. I usually have my 2 screens here. I'll do my best to navigate. Let's see. When we aren't given the safety and space to tell our story, to share the truth about what happened to us, our inner child takes it as a personal rejection, because we think the trauma is a part of who we are, and then that isn't heard. It feels like we as a person aren't deserving of being heard. Make sense? Like I just said, when I started doing my, my healing work, I had to not necessarily go digging into the past about memories, but just like there was enough right here showing up in my life, enough hurt that once, you know, the hard feelings, once I started tuning into my body where they were coming from, most of them were coming from my inner child, my really teeny tiny little inner child, and then my 6-year-old, my 13-year-old, and then my young adult self. Usually once I started coming back, I started hearing it was coming from them. And she just desperately wanted to be heard, right? But if we don't find a way or aren't supported, many of us even try to tell our stories on our way, you know, going through childhood and into adulthood. But if we aren't believed, right, and no one intervenes or helps us, then we really end up internalizing that story, really digging it, you know, burying it deep in our subconscious, where it becomes like one of our core beliefs about ourselves. And then it's like, no one cares. No, it doesn't matter. It was my fault. No one wants to listen. So the 2 questions today: in what way do you isolate yourself from people who would be happy to support you on your healing journey? Because often when we didn't have a safety to tell our stories, to get help, to get the support that we needed, right? It becomes and trauma, I know, isolates us, disconnects us. It's a kind of a barrier, right, that we need to work on pushing through sometimes. And I know it's not always easy. So the 2 questions: in what way do you isolate yourself from people who might be happy to support you on your healing journey? And what small step can you take to change that today? All right, let me switch here quickly. See here. Elizabeth asks here, oh, Tina, well, there's always the perfect timing, my friend, right? Always perfect timing. You're not alone. Not alone in that. Elizabeth says here, what do you think about self-care when taking care of a sick person? I feel like I have to feel good first to take care of them properly. Absolutely, Elizabeth. When we are taking care of other people, it is especially important that we take good care of ourselves. It's like when we go on the airplane. What is the flight attendants, what do they say? If we need to grab an oxygen mask, hey friend, first we need to put the mask on ourselves, and then we put the mask on the child or the person that might need assistance. And I know this is sometimes very hard, especially when we have, hey Jesse, when we have children, or right, we have taken on a role where we are taking care of other people. So absolutely, Elizabeth, very important to take care of you first. Yeah, I hear you, Elizabeth. We all need to be reminded, trust me. We all need to be reminded every now and then. Hey, Rob, good to see you. Good to see you. So let me turn to the group here, and I'd love to hear from anybody here. If you want to comment, let us know in what way do you perhaps isolate from people who might of course be willing to support you, or do you notice what are your indicators? Like, can you tell? Is there do you know yourself now well enough that you can tell when you're isolating? I'd love to hear that too. Because sometimes just kind of outing ourselves, meaning, okay, let's be honest about this. This is a safe place to do that. We all can do that. And we don't always catch ourselves. in the beginning. It's like, why am I isolating? Why am I, oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, actually there may be something deeper going on. Okay, who can I talk to? Who can I reach out to? Who can I maybe just connect with around this? And then what small step can you take to make those changes? So Wanda shared with us, she says, I continue to quietly back away and go no contact to create a false sense of safety instead of reaching out for help. It's awesome, Wanda, that you are aware of it, that you are aware of it. She says, I will become very quiet, standing on the side and out of view. The small step of change I am trying to make is acknowledging that the urge to isolate myself at that point is to find that one person that I am completely comfortable at being vulnerable with and know that I am safe with. Beautiful, Wanda. Beautiful. Absolutely. And sometimes it's even, you know, I know sometimes that could even feel like a big thing just to post in our group. It's like, you know, okay, guys, I've been a little quiet. I just want to put it out there that I'm withdrawing a little bit. I'm isolating. The walls have come up a little bit. Don't know, haven't maybe not exactly figured out right away what it is or what, but I just want to put it out there. And sometimes just saying it creates the space. You're acknowledging the truth, right? It's like a mindfulness practice. It's like, yeah, wait a minute, I am isolating. And what can we do, right? That's social engagement, right? When we reach out, that is actually, you're pushing your brain out of the frozen state, fight, flight, perhaps. So, but you, as you can see, Wanda, you're not alone here. You're not alone. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for taking the risk of being vulnerable and share with us. And I think you just shared earlier, you're doing some deep work right now. You're doing some deep work. You're working on reconnecting with your inner teenager, and your inner critic is probably trying to protect you, trying to tell you, oh, you don't want to talk to those people. You don't want to go down that road. No, I got this. Let's not push this. No, we're not going to do this. You're better off alone. No one cares, right? That inner critic, I don't know what the words or the language or the tone, perhaps, that you're hearing. But often it can come together as you are actually actively engaging in some deep work. You're being very intentional right now about your healing, my friend. Yes, yes, Tina, that voice, the inner critic. Anybody else relates? That inner critic. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see here. Yep, real close to those words. Good, Wanda. Good. So it's, again, right? It's good to remember then, right? Oh yeah, I'm not the only one who feels this way, right? The self-compassion practice. Oh yeah, I'm isolating. This is a hard feeling. This is what I'm going through. This is hard. This is hard. And I know Sue has expressed things like, right, Sue has gone through hard things. Tina has gone through hard things. Elizabeth has gone through hard things. But why is it that I'm so hard on myself when I go through the hard things, right? Of course, the inner critic would rather you not go there, or your ego, right? It's like, no, I got this. We're better off doing it, you know, the way we have in the past. So, hand on our hearts, coming back to our bodies. One breath, one page, one day at a time. Yep. I hear you, my friend. Elizabeth says here, I don't know when I isolate. I just feel like that's the right decision at the time, even if it's just my negative self-talk telling me I deserve no one. Yes, absolutely, Elizabeth. And that, I want to thank you for saying that. And I want to say that out loud here, that all our coping strategies, like all the reasons why we withdraw, all the reason why we isolate, all the reasons why we choose not to reach out to people, it's perfectly okay. It's all in service of survival, right? So when we become aware, oh, wait a minute, I am isolating, is to not beat ourselves up about it, right? But then, oh, that's right. I am isolating. I'm doing it again. It's okay. Of course you're isolating. Of course this feels risky. Of course it's easier to manage this without worrying about what people are going to think about me out here. Yes. Right, Rob? He says, I used to love isolating sometimes. Yes, I understand. And I mean, that's me too. I love being alone, but it comes again back to that awareness. It's like, why am I choosing to be alone? Right? There's two things we can tune into. I try to simplify it as much as possible. Am I protecting, defending, right? Closed, in that kind of energy, or am I, no, I'm choosing to be alone right now because I'm kind of curious. I'm curious, I'm connecting with myself, I'm being mindful of my environment, I'm taking some alone time, some self-care time. So, right, it doesn't have to be bad necessarily, but it's about being aware of why we're doing it. Let's see, Rob says, it was, yes, exactly. Of course, warm, safe, fuzzy environment, but yeah, but then the why kicks in. Yes, exactly. Yeah, because inside of us is a little, right, a little boy or a teenager that's just like, no, screw that world. We are safe and comfy and cozy under here. I'm just gonna watch that TV. I'm just gonna listen to my music. I'm just gonna, don't want to deal with the outside world. Thanks for all the hearts, friends. So I get it. It's a get it, but we are social creatures. We need people. We need connection. So it's about that balance, right? So become aware enough so we know what's driving us, what's driving it. Tina says, I don't believe others will really care if I open up. So easier to isolate with my own struggles. I had to learn to be fiercely independent as a kid, so incredibly hard to trust now. Yes, Tina, absolutely. I totally get that about you. And as you can see, you're not alone. I mean, and that's actually it. I look around in the world, just as we go about the world. Survivors of trauma are very, very resilient. A lot of them incredibly high functioning, changing the world, taking on a lot of stuff, right? We do that. But sometimes we do it at the expense of letting people, right, then give to us, right? Really see the truth about who we are. And open up to the truth. It's like, yeah, actually it would be nice to have someone, right, to talk about, to share. Not that anybody can fix it for you. No one can crawl inside of any of us and fix it, but just to have someone that can, empathize and just be with us and not turn away. That's huge. And that is really how we heal, my friends. It really is. We do not heal in isolation. There's always some kind of exchange going on energetically, either between you and your inner child, between you and your coach or your therapist or your friend or your partner or your, right? There's always something. Or between you and God or you and Mother Earth, right? Yes. I had to identify if it was me time or if it was avoidance. Yes, exactly, Wanda. I hear you. I hear you. And that's really what this journey is all about, right? It's all about coming back into the present moment, just like right here, right now. Okay, yeah, I'm sitting in my body. I can feel I'm here. Yeah, I think I'm here. I can feel myself here. So what's going on? What's really going on here? What am I not wanting to feel? What am I not wanting to ask for? What boundary am I not setting? What am I saying yes if I want to say no, right? And that's why it's very important for us on the healing journey to actually take quite a bit of alone time too, to sort out where do I end and you begin, and what are my needs and your needs. So it's that beautiful balance, my friends. So let's see here. I need to figure out my optimal ratio of alone and social time, Elizabeth. Yeah, exactly. Know what you need. You know, it's like, yeah, I can be social 3-4 times a week, but then I need some really, really good quality alone time, right? And then that could change. So honor where you're at and your needs when you need them. Hey, Wesley. Hey, friend. Thanks for sharing. Yes. And exactly. And Rob says, good idea, Elizabeth. Sue says, for so many of us in childhood, there was nobody there. Exactly. That is also it, right? There was nobody there. Right? So I've shared with you guys, for me, having friendships was hard. I didn't know how to relate to people because I had shut down so much that it was easier just to be alone. I didn't know how to have a back and forth, equal exchange, give and take friendship. It took a long time. It took a long time in my marriage to learn that, right? So it is a challenge. So again, you are worth exploring that for you. Yes, exactly. Elizabeth says, yes. These days, I feel pushed into social situations and uncomfortable about having or being accepted. Yes, I hear you. Wanda says, Sue or they were there but treated you unfairly. Yes, exactly. Yep. Absolutely. Check. Everybody's on the same page. All right. There you go, Rob. He's going out with friends, all night session on December 7th. You're good with alone time till then. Yes, awesome. And of course, you got us. So thank you for sharing, Wanda. Let's see, Sue shared with us. Sue shared here. Excuse me, my nose. Don't want to sneeze here. Sue says, for much of my life, I had no comprehension that there was such a thing as support. Hey, Zulu. Thank you for your question. I'm going to turn it over to our community. How do I overcome crippling anxiety? My academics suffer because of it. Hold that thought. Okay, friends, don't let me forget. But I was just about to read Sue's comment to our question today. So I'm going to finish that, and then I will come back to your question. So thank you for asking. And I'm sorry that you're having a hard time with your anxiety. But you're in good company here. We know this struggle. We know this struggle. And let's see here. Sue says, for much of my life, I had no comprehension that there was such a thing as support. I'd never really had anyone to turn to, and I'd simply plowed on, coping or not as best as I could. So when there were good people who began to listen to me and offer support, I found it very hard to trust them, fearing that they wouldn't listen or wouldn't think I had anything that was worth talking about. Oof, I hear you, Sue. I totally get that. Anybody else relate? She goes on to say, thankfully, I am now more able to receive support from others, though trust still doesn't come easily. These days, there are times when I tend to isolate because I feel I'll not be accepted to some of the people who have supported me in the past. I know things are changing for me, and I am feeling very protective of my emerging self. But I guess now I need to learn to trust myself, that I can be my own protector. Beautiful, Sue. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So much wisdom here, my friend, right? You recognize like how much of not trusting came from because you had no one to that you weren't taught. You didn't have the people who were supposed to teach you about trust. They failed you, right? And they wouldn't listen to you. They didn't spend time with you in a way that really would have mattered and made a big difference. So it takes time. And that's like what I said earlier. It's like we are reparenting ourselves, recognizing that some of these ways that we are trying to show up out in the world relating to other people maybe comes from there's an unmet need from childhood, or there is like I was emotionally and even socially stunted. Like I didn't know how to really socially engage because I was so scared. I was so afraid of being found out, all the secrets about my trauma and abuse. And, you know, it was like I assumed that nobody wanted anything to do with me. So I just stayed away from people as much as possible. And I focused on other people. I was very helpful and, right, put on a good face, played Little Miss Perfect. Oof, but that was exhausting. That got old fast. So it is understandable, Sue, that you are feeling protective of your emerging self and are learning, right, to be okay with exactly where you're at. Let's see here. I'm going back here onto the YouTube chat. It says, Wanda, remind myself that I'm only in control of the present moment. Remember a time I worried about something and it wasn't as bad as I imagined it would be. Yes, exactly. That's beautiful, Wanda. That's beautiful. Rob is here with a suggestion for our friend here, the Zulu on your scope about anxiety. Rob suggested cognitive behavioral therapy. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I'm a big fan of tapping. I'm also a big fan of mindfulness. Understanding what helps to bring you into the present moment, because anxiety, there you are, thanks friend. Anxiety can often be about worry about the future. Like if I really simplify this, right, I'm really oversimplifying. Yes, depression is overwhelm and powerlessness about the past. anxiety can be worry about the future, right? We are just constantly worried about what other people think. Are we going to do it right? Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to show up the right way? There's some kind of theme usually that plays out. So, but sometimes, right, it comes from your nervous system being activated, right? There's an external trigger. So how can you help yourself coming back into the present moment? Do your best to ground yourself, ground your body right here, right now. I'm a big fan of orienting. Look around your room. Notice some colors, textures, smell, taste, stretch your shoulders and neck. Because when we are stressed and anxious, we tend to do this. And when our body does this, it sends a message to the head, to our mind. You better worry, you better watch out, something's happening, you're not safe. But when we change our posture, our state, our physical state, that then sends a message to the mind. Oh, she's feeling pretty confident. She's feeling relaxed even, because she's standing, like I talk about the Wonder Woman stance, right? Try that for 2 minutes. It's actually amazing how it can shift how we feel. Like I said, tapping and our butterfly hugs. Also on your breath, if you're inhaling, count to 2 or 3 and exhale, double the number on the exhale. That activates the part of your nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, that brings us out of the fight or flight into more of a relaxed state. I know that can sometimes catch us. It's not always easy to relax if we've been in the fight or flight state for a long time. But here are some suggestions for you. Anything else, you friends, that we can suggest for our friend here? I read for you what Wanda suggested. Thank you guys for validating here what Sue was sharing. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sue. Sue says here, I never really met any other children until I was 5. Oof. All right, Zulu, can you repeat your question? I didn't see it. It's buried here, so I appreciate it if you'd be willing to ask again. That's right, Sue. No wonder you could relate to other kids. Yes. Elizabeth says, I knew other children, but my parents wouldn't make it any easy for me to spend time with them. Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Yes. Yeah, that's right, Sue. You only had your parents for ages. I hear you, my friend. And Wanda says, Sue and Elizabeth, I just had the opposite. I was around lots of children, but I was the bad one, or the one that started trouble. Yes, Sue, school was real shock. Well, I hear you, Wanda. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. I hear you, friend. Thank you. The Zulu on your scope. I'm sorry to hear that you struggle with depression. Those definitely can go hand in hand. So I will answer that question in a minute. Just give me a second. And just so you know, if you want to join us on the live stream on YouTube, if you go to YouTube and look up the name of the book, you will find us in the group chat right there, right now. So, but you're fine right here. So just hang on. Rob says, I don't think you're alone. Talk about it openly with friends. You'd be surprised who else lives with anxiety. There you go. That's a suggestion from Rob. Sue, it truly feels like I spent ages alone or being over controlled by my parents. Oof, Elizabeth, I hear you, friend. That is tough. That is tough. When we don't have the freedom to just be, be children, to play, to have fun, the freedom of just being innocent child. I'm so sorry that that was taken away from you. Yes, yes. So you guys are seeing and hearing lots of support here. You're not alone, not alone. Let's see here, Donna, I don't know if you're listening today with us, but you posted here and gave me permission to share. Donna says, the first thing that comes to mind is that I censor what I share. More often than not, I simply say nothing. Today, a small step that's helping to change this pattern and or habit is to utilize the power of a safe human connection. In the past few years, I've evolved. In the past few years, I have evolved. Early on, I limited my participation to silent following. Later, an occasional post would take an hour of my fearful editing. Today, I feel comfortable to show up with a comment or a shared humor. Still work in progress. Thank you, Donna. Oh my goodness, Donna. We love, love, love your sharing, your contribution, your comments, and your sense of humor, my friend. And, right, me too. Work in progress. Everybody here, if you're human, work in progress. So you're in good company, sweet friend. And we love that we're hearing more from you and seeing more of you because you are delightful. You are a riot. And I know because we danced together in Texas last April when we met up for a retreat. So that was so much fun, so much fun. So Denise, I don't know if you're here, my friend. I see that you commented, but I don't see that you gave me permission to share. So I want to honor that. But thank you so much for taking the time and for sharing with us and I'm glad to see that you already got a comment that you are not alone. That you are not alone, my friend. Absolutely not alone. Let's see here. Yes, Sue says, I love Donna's shares. Good job on that evolution. Yes, she's a legend. I'm in awe of her, says Rob. Yes, exactly. So I'm going to turn it to the community. Friends, can we give our friends some suggestions on how to work? He struggles with depression. So can I hear from you guys some thoughts about that? Love to put it back to the community. What do you do on those days? I'm going to give them a minute to share, and then I'll read their comments. What I love to do when my energy is low or in the past was to move my body. Get my body moving, because often the depressed energy is, right, I'm tired. I don't have energy to do anything. Okay, then I missed it. You said, please read my second question. I have depression and anxiety. Was just above the depression anxiety comment. And I don't see that. How do I overcome anxiety. I'm glad you're here and asking. Glad you're here and you're asking. And let's see. Tina says, I do random acts of kindness. That's great, Tina. I love that, right? That always inspires. Do something for other people. That's great. Reach out to others, says Wanda. Sue says, I was just going to say, get out for a walk if I can. Yes, be out in nature. If you have pets, go sit with your pets. But like I said, my biggest thing is, and I recommend moving our body. Often that energy is because, you know, our energy kind of gets stagnated in our body. So once we move our body, we move the energy of the body. And sometimes, right, getting out the door, even when you don't feel like it, you end up feeling a little better. Yes, Sue says, sometimes just having a shower can be good. Yes, taking a hot shower. I'm also a fan of cold showers. That definitely gets your nervous system shooken up. Is it fair to expect myself to do as well as my peers academically, even though they have no mental illness? Well, my friend, you know yourself best. But I think the most important part here is that to know that you are doing the best you can. Anytime we compare ourselves to others, we lose. Right? We usually lose when we are comparing ourselves to other people. So you're doing the best you can, right? Given, like you said, if you're struggling with mental illness or depression or anxiety, celebrate that you are going to school. You're doing your best. You are showing up. Right? And we have good days. Yes, you're welcome. He says, I'm assuming it's a he, but you said just needed that validation. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. That validation is so important. So important. And I'm going to read the rest of these great advice here for you. So reach out to others. Elizabeth says, what helped me the most was therapy and setting achievable goal. Okay, thank you, Zulu. And personal goals, I didn't have to share with anyone. Yes, be open. Again, no shame in the game. Yes. Watching from South Africa. That's awesome. Hey, friends, we got a friend from South Africa with us today. So glad you're here. We have people from all over the world here, so you're in good company. Wanda says, no, Tina says, moving my body I know is good for me. How do I get up to do it? I am so lethargic when I'm depressed, feeling that way now. I'm sorry, Tina. I know. I understand. Sometimes it is hard just to get your food out the door. On those days when we don't feel like, oh, you're welcome. Glad you found us too. But Tina, what I tell myself on those days, I get my shoes on. I'm like, I'm just gonna walk to the end of the block. And usually by the time I get to the end of the block, I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the end of the next block, right? And even if you just set your alarm for 5 minutes, I'm just gonna go walk for 5 minutes, or I'm just gonna go stand in that shower for 5 minutes. Even if you just stand up and put on the Wonder Woman pose for 2 minutes. You're changing this state. Your body, your mind thinks you're smiling. Two minutes. Something shifts. Tap, tap, tap. Even though I'm feeling really depressed right now, is it okay? Yeah, I accept myself. Even though right now I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to lay here. Don't want to move. Even though I'm feeling depressed, I accept myself. Awesome, Tina. Right? And tap, tap, tap. Even though I'm feeling really low right now, my energy, I'm feeling depressed. My energy is really low right now. Yep, my energy is really low. My energy, I'm feeling depressed. Sometimes just acknowledging the truth of how we're feeling, right? Just I accept it, but I can still accept myself, even though I'm feeling depressed. I can still accept myself. If love and accept myself is too big, then at least I can accept myself. Right? Tap, tap, tap. I had to have a mirror conversation with myself a few minutes ago. I accept myself. Awesome. Good job. You were definitely in line with us here. So honor where you're at, sweet Tina. Baby steps, exactly, exactly. Wanda says, meditate, take walks, play with my fur babies. If exercise isn't helping, go to the doctor. Antidepressants can rebalance the brain chemistry and give you an instant buzz, which takes the sting out of depression as you bounce back to normal. Thank you, Rob. Great advice. Yes. And Sue says, this morning I saw what helped me. Let whatever you do today be good enough. Exactly. You're good enough. You're good enough. And you too. Yes, on antidepressants made a difference. Exactly. Do what you can. Do what you can. An external locus evaluation will increase your anxiety. Don't use others to judge yourself. Exactly. Thanks, Rob, right? Because what gets us in trouble sometimes is that we are focusing on what other people think. We are comparing ourselves to others. If they're doing that, we should, right? Inner struggle immediately. So this is where I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling right here, right now. And that's okay. I am okay right here, right now. Yes, Elizabeth says, giving you permission to spoil yourself. Buy that thing you desire. Give yourself a break. Yes, I'm a huge fan of taking breaks, self-care breaks. Interestingly, especially lately, since I've been forced to do more of those, people keep telling me, Svava, the best thing I did for my broken toe was to rest and put my feet up. For a busy woman like me, okay, got it, universe. I'm resting, feet up. Let's see, the studying I did today isn't enough for tomorrow's exam. I had to accept how far I could go. Excellent, my friend. You're doing the best you can. And that is good enough. That is good enough. You are doing a beautiful job. Better than you can imagine. Absolutely. Yes, exactly, Wanda. Well, you guys know I was on a really great kick, working hard, building muscle, working out. But I went on the bike today in the gym, and I was able to ride that cycle with my clunky supportive shoe. Where is it? And I was able to do weights. So life is constantly, when you have a plan, you get asked to Not to do it this way, to do it this way. There you go, Elizabeth. I'm good enough, and so are you. Yes. Yes. Last minute study isn't particularly effective. Best preparation is done before. Sue is the teacher here, so thank you, Sue. Exactly. Just go to sleep, get a good night's sleep, eat a good breakfast, drink a lot of water, and you will, instead of being overly stressed out, you will be calm, you know what you know, and trust that you will be in the zone of genius. There you go. There you go. And Rob says, and your mind will always err on the negative. So you never will be good enough compared to others when judging yourself against them. Exactly. Yes, self-acceptance is huge for me, but not easy. One breath at a time, we're accepting ourselves. So, of course, I drew the perfect card. One day she woke up and decided to believe. Who needed to see this card today? Zulu, you're in the right spot. Everybody here, most of us struggle with perfectionism. That's a coping strategy, right? And it's one day at a time, just the same thing we just talked about. Remind yourself, nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So who needed to see that? I hear you. I hear you. So my secret weapon is my hand on my heart. Your hand on your heart. And then slowly feel the warmth from your hand on your body. And remind yourself, I am here. I am here. I am here. Yes, I think this is the perfect card for you, Zulu, my friend. Don't know if that's your real name, but that's what we're calling you. One day she woke up and decided to believe in herself. And that she's perfectly imperfect, right? That's what makes us beautiful. Zulu is perfect. Yes. I believe it. Good. Good. And let yourself feel that warmth. You are being here. You are here for you. Tell yourself, I am here, I am here, I am here. Believe that we're good enough. Elizabeth says, I thought perfectionism would lead to external acceptance, but it doesn't. Self-love is a safer way to feeling loved. Yes, self-compassion is the path to self-love and self-acceptance. Self-esteem, we're measuring against things out here. Self-compassion, we are reminding ourselves that we are not alone, right? We're being kind to ourselves, not judging ourselves, doing our best to stay connected to our hearts and to other people, and being mindful, not worry about the past or the future, but right here, right now, right? You can be here, right now, and believe in yourself. Tina, I am so glad that you found us today. She says, I needed to see anything hopeful, believe. Thank you. So glad I caught this today. I appreciate all the support and hearing from everyone. I appreciate your shares. We are so glad that you're here, Tina. read, and you're still getting some feedback here on how to study. Hey guys, I think she's got this. So lots of good advice. So if you're on YouTube, come on over, look for the name of the book, and you will find our live stream. So would love to have you, but so glad that you were here with us today. So thank you, thank you, thank you guys. Always just so much joy to be here with you. And remember, you are already perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. And you already have all the things that you need to heal and restore. Yes, I will be back here, Periscope, YouTube, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same time as today. Same time, same place. So if you'd like to join us, make sure you follow so you get notifications, or on YouTube. So thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the thumbs up, my friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And remember, do something good for yourself this weekend, something that sparks joy. Go out in nature, go move your body, and practice a little Wonder Woman power stance. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the community support, love and support here. Thank you. Thanks, Wanda. Thanks, friends. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye now. Bye, Zulu. I'm so glad.